a pretty concrete process, and you can break it down into steps. The first step, once you've identified your donor, is to identify a shared value or need. When people say fundraising is all about relationships, this is what they mean. It's not that you can only fundraise from people you're close to, but that you can fundraise best if you've established a connection to something your donor really cares about. This can change based on who you're talking to. So with your parents, it might be about helping you develop purpose and leadership skills, or just because they love you and want to support what you care about. And with your boss, it might be about giving back to the Bay Area community. Your college bestie might really care about the racial equity and social justice education part of it. And if you're not sure what someone cares about, you can talk to them about it. This is a good time to practice the active listening that we did in one of our early workshops. What causes do these people already support? What gets them excited? What do they want to change in the world? Once you've established that shared need or value, you can move to step 2, which is talking about what success looks like based on that need or value. This one gets at the why behind that value or need, and this is where you start talking about why core. Think about why you're excited about the work that you're doing with us. Your story is the success story. What are you learning? What will this help you do or create in the future? What will this help your partner do or create in the future? What are your amazing teammates learning or doing or creating alongside of you? Next comes step 3. Share your and your organization's plan to meet that value and need. This is the hardest part because this is where you need to explain why Y-Core is the best person for the job. So think about why you chose to work with us rather than another volunteer or learning group. Why to you is Y-Core the greatest way to achieve success stories like yours? Some things we've heard before that other fellows have found helpful is that the structure of our program is really organized and unique, or that we help you work on meaningful projects that are actually impactful to your partners, or that we're a space to have difficult conversations that you don't get to have in your daily job or life. But you're going to need to pick one or several of these things that work for you and the person you're asking from. Step 4, invite them to join you. Think of it as more of an invitation than a request. Your donors get to be part of supporting this cool organization and making more stories like yours and your partners possible. They're not really donating to you as an individual. They're contributing to everything that Y-Core stands for, which you just explained is totally in line with their values. One trick here is to use the phrase, "Would you consider?" because it gives them a graceful out. And it allows you to be just a little bit persistent. If they say no, you can come back with, "Well, what would you consider?" When you ask, you should have something specific that you're asking of them. This can be a certain amount or a range, but you should have a number. You can say that most people or other people have contributed a certain amount if that makes you feel more comfortable. I recommend aiming slightly high, but realistic, and definitely tailor the amount to the person you're asking. Once you ask, stop talking. Don't walk it back, don't add more, just let them answer. If it's too much for them, they'll let you know, either directly or indirectly. And if that's the case, be gracious. Ask them if there is an amount they'd feel comfortable giving, and if they're not sure, you can offer to let them think about it and follow up in a few days, or if you're really certain that they're uncomfortable, just let it go. It's completely fine to get rejected. It happens to me all the time. If they say yes, you want to make everything as easy as possible for them. Give them all the details about logistics, which we'll give you in a minute, and be prepared to do all the legwork for them. And yes, follow up if they don't do it right away. My rule is to follow up 3 times before I officially give up on someone. This might sound like a lot, but the truth is you can tailor the length of your ask to the amount and the person that you're asking. These 4 steps can be 4 sentences if you're writing a text message or shooting something out quickly to a coworker. But if you are going to spend a little more time to ask for more, you can break these 4 steps up into a couple of conversations. It really depends. The main thing to keep in mind is that, yeah, it's a little uncomfortable, but it gets easier. And we are here to support you. So if you have questions or just want to talk something through with a staff member, please don't hesitate to reach out.